but I see when the little dots come up, I get a little notification on there. Um, so if you have questions, just you can shoot it to me. If I don't get back to you immediately, please don't get mad at me, but I will get back to you because I got a lot of moving parts over here going on. But yeah, if you have questions in between the times that we meet, and then go on Facebook too. Go on Facebook. I see Yola put something up here. 45 minutes. Hello, everyone. Okay, we're not being
Yep.
passive. Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. You're a good boy.
Okay, okay. But yeah, use that. That's why Pat put it up because I look in that Facebook probably at least 3 or 4 times a day just to see if anybody has put something up. If they have questions, I definitely want to make sure I answer your questions as soon as possible. Okay. So other than that, um, we good
I mean, until next week.
until
Next
next
week we'll
Wednesday.
be looking at getting back into the groove of things again. And Michelle, we our regular schedule is first and third Wednesdays, and then but right now we've just been adding on a little bit more of a pop up, making it feel like a weekly basis. And of course, all the recording is still going to be available, but we're making it more of a weekly basis, just so that way, because there's a lot of information that we were thinking about, and to not leave too much of a gap in between. So that's why we're trying to push in as much of it earlier on, and then once we get into a groove of things, then
Then we can
we'll kind
scale it
of
back.
go through it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
scale it back to twice a month.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
right now, I just want to get everybody up to speed. And like I said, we've got a couple of new people that came in that I want to try to get them up to speed as fast as possible. And both of them have been real excited about doing this. So um, I'm sure they'll get the assignments done and the exercises done. And you guys are doing good. But so anyway, so you guys have the exercise for next Wednesday. 3 new setups, 20 trades. Let's get the numbers. Let's get this thing figured out, and then we're going to start working on. We're going to start working on our plans, okay? And then we're going to do some. We're going to do some uh, think or swim trades where you guys will go through trade. You guys pick the stock you want to see me trade, and then we'll sit here and I'll try to speed it up. I'll put it on the because I talked to the guy and he showed me how to speed it up so it goes 3 times faster, so we don't have to sit here for 6.5 hours and watch this thing trade. Um, and then we'll kind of we'll go through it. We'll stop at certain points. I'll ask you questions, you ask me questions, and we'll figure that out. And we'll just try to incorporate this whole thing together so that it feels real organic and that it's making sense as we're trying to get to the goal. And the goal is you guys being, extremely confident with your trading, feeling like, I can do this professionally.
I'm sorry, did you say we can pick one next meeting
Yeah, pick a
or
stock you
what you
guys want me
doing?
to. Yeah, pick a
Okay,
stock.
awesome.
Put
Okay.
it in Facebook,
Put on Facebook.
Donna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
just
doesn't
load it.
really matter the stock. I just want to see you do it.
Okay,
Hmm.
And so it's okay. It doesn't matter.
okay. All right. Well, it's
Nice,
gonna
Because
be
nice.
I learned we'll all learn a lot, just watching you do it. You know what I'm
no
saying?
problem. No problem.
Thanks for that.
It'll be very interactive because I want you guys to. And I think and a lot of people, Donna, and you're probably like me. I mean, I'm visual. You know, the whole the
Exactly.
whole the
Yep.
whole clubhouse thing was kind of like tripping me up just a little bit because I'm looking on my screen, but I can't see you, and I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing. That's why I'm telling you guys, okay, go to your monitor, go to your 2 minute time frame right now, pull up this stock, and go to at 10:48 in the morning, and hopefully you're seeing what I'm seeing because I think everything I think in pictures that helps me. So I understand where you're coming from, Donna, when you're saying I just want to see you what your thought process is at that particular time in the trade, and that's I think isn't that what you're kind of alluding to, Donna?
Sorry.
No
I was trying to
problem.
trying to fight my way to the mute button. Yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll do that.
I had one more thing. I wanted to ask you, Tony, do you know, are you pretty familiar or know how to work with like Microsoft Excel?
I am horrible at that, but you can help me out with it, Richard. I told you guys, man, hey, you better thank God Patrick is here. I don't know how to do anything, man. No, and that's horrible. No, that's not true.
Well, no worries, no worries. I was gonna say that I've been tracking my spreadsheets through Excel, and if anyone is, interested in me providing my Excel spreadsheet, maybe I could just show you guys real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that because
Gotcha,
I was working on one
Do you
as
wanna
well. So
give
that
me-
would be helpful if you already have one that you're actively using and you feel like it's helpful as far as the journaling components. But for right now, if you wanted to go ahead and just share your screen so at least people can see that, it's all yours for you to do that right now.
Yeah. So, I kind of like it because it gives you your trade date, which symbol that you were trading.
Oh, this is more than
You
what I
just
was
enter
looking at.
it. Caller puts, the strike. I also put the drop down for the reasons. So for gifts or picture
Great.
strength.
Oh, this is
trophies,
way
etc. And then number of contracts. The only thing that's a little bit messy is the price average, your opening price. On a couple contracts, I actually have to do the math to come up with that average price. But you can also enter when you open your position, when you closed it, how long you're in the trade,
Nice.
and then profit loss, your total cost, which is here, and then your total profit lost, along with the realized gain and percentages. So you kind of see, really get a good feel for, how you did in a certain trade. Even if you're just trading one contract or if you're trading, 10 contracts. The only thing I want to get better with this is not having to, I need to come up with a way that's going to better fit with the number of contracts once I start trading multiples. So I don't have to do the math every time I put in the open average price and my closed average price.
Okay.
But I feel like I was just going to share this with everybody through the Facebook group, and you guys can start punching your numbers in there.
Yeah,
and,
that'd be
really
phenomenal.
giving you a good idea, especially the time in the trade. I got some of these where I was like in there for super long, like 2 hours. I'm like, man, why am I in this for like ever? I'm just sitting there watching the screen, And then some of these is like, oh, my more profitable trades is like, an hour, 30 minutes, nothing crazy.
Isn't that interesting? So that's good data. I mean,
Yeah.
because, when you have this data, then you can go back and you can say, okay, this is what I want my parameters to be,
Right.
But if you don't have the data, it's really hard. It's and I'm giving it to you in its most basic. It's nothing as. Thank you so much, Richard. This is amazing. Hopefully,
I work with
Patrick
Excel
can
on the
compute.
daily, so it's
Okay.
it's easier for me. And I hadn't been tracking my trades really over the course of my first year of trading. I was just kind of going with it and understanding. But when you really start to see, those problem areas, and you go back and you look at it and see, exactly what I did wrong on this trade, because they'll say, you lost this much percentage. So it's a good way for you to go back and you have the timestamps to, ultimately figure out where you were in that part of the trade, that part of the day.
Are you using Thinkorswim?
So when my cash account, I use Webull, but with paper trading, I am doing Thinkorswim. I'm new to it. I just started this year, so I'm still trying to. It's a beast, I'm still trying to get it all figured out. But it's nice, it is nice. And for some reason, my paper trade accounts, like, it just doesn't stick, so I'm having a hard time. Once I'm done with the day, I have to get these in there immediately or they kind of wipe out for the day. So I'm trying to figure it out still. But yes, learning Thinkorswim right now.
I like
Yeah,
Richard. And
you
make
know what?
sure. Go ahead, Donna.
I attempted to set up to do the one-touch trading options thing. And for some reason, I bought stocks versus options. So that was one of my fails. And but when you go up there and you do start over from scratch, that wiped out all my previous trades, my paper trading account. So I had to start over brand new with a new $100,000. You know what I mean? All my other trades went away when you go up and you set it to, did anybody else do it? Try to set up to trade options with one click. I forgot his name. Was it Brian who showed us that?
It was Derek, I think.
It was
Yeah,
Derek,
Derek,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I tried to
Derek's
set
not
it
in
up
there.
like that, but didn't. Like I said, I bought stocks versus options. I don't know how I did that, so I'm gonna have to go back. And I'm afraid because you have to reset the default again, which is probably gonna wipe out everything that I have. So I'll probably just take a picture of it. That's what I'll do. But yeah, I just need to go back and set it up the way I had it. I guess I'm really interested though. I'll probably just watch it. I figured it. Nobody else did it. Anybody else?
I did it actually, and it's like a game changer. So if you can figure it out, like it sounds like maybe you were just clicking the ticker instead of the contract. Like you want to make sure that you send the contract to the watch list.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah. And then once you click the contract, make sure that the watch list is then attached to
It's
the
synced. I
active
have it's synced. Everything is synced up. I love that part, but for some reason I said, no, I can't. I don't. I didn't go back to it. I just did it manually again. But all right. Thank you for that, Q.
And you know what? So Colleen, maybe we can get you. And I think Stedman was showing me that kind of that setup. I don't know if you guys went through that with is it Patience? And she was kind of showing everybody.
I'm here. I can show you guys how to do it.
Okay, cool. Because here's the neat thing about having this group. We can help each other. So where I know I'm a stock trader and everything is based upon the stocks, obviously. But there are some little nuances that go along and some little small differences that go along with trading options as well. So just like what Richard brought up right here, this is awesome. I think this is like this is great.
This is amazing.
Other than I like to see more in that reason column there, Richard. You got busted. You got busted on that tonight.
I know.
You got
It's the
busted.
web, man. Sometimes
I need to know. I need to know what
actually-
what that setup was, right? That's my entry. There's my entry right there.
Got me.
Hey,
Got me.
hey,
Mr.
Richard.
Tony, I think what he's got on his screen on the reason is actually the setups. So there's a column that's still missing for the reason. Am I wrong, Richard?
The reason,
Or is it just a combination?
kind of the same thing. I
It's
was
the
thinking
same
there,
thing.
but
Yes, your setup and your reason. Yeah.
yeah. So I could separate those, but I mean, I feel like my reason for getting in the trade is because I see the right setup.
Yeah, the reason you say you see the picture of strength, right? Or I see the
Yeah,
picture of
so
weakness,
that's my
or I see a
reason.
180. Like yesterday, we caught that 180 on SPY, right? And that
Exactly.
thing was like the nose on your face. I mean, it was so obvious.
Yep.
That was my reason for getting in. I saw the 180, so I got 180 in there, right? Okay.
Yeah. So I did want to say
real quick,
that all of these.
Richard.
Yeah.
I was
ahead.
the first of all, this is a great Excel sheet, right? And I'm kind of an Excel geek myself, so I was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But then I ran across this website called TraderView, and you can extract all of your trades directly into this program, and it automatically populates all of this information.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah,
I'll have to
it's
check that
awesome.
out.
And you can look at it from a macro and micro level. It even breaks it down to instrument, as well as shows you a chart for your entries and your exits, and tells you like, okay, if you would have held your exit for X amount of time longer, you would have made this much profit or that. It's awesome.
Okay.
And it allows you to
All
put
right, so
notes.
that's your job next week, Lauren. You got you got the Facebook login. Go into there, put it in the
Which
Facebook.
brokerage do you use, Lauren?
Here,
Is
I'll
that a
show
free
you real quick. I got it up
account,
on my
or you have
screen.
to pay for that
I'll
one?
show it to you briefly.
Yeah.
You can
I'd
just
like
see
to
it. Hold on.
that, for sure.
Lauren, is that a subscription?
Yeah, it's $50 a month, but it's well worth it. Because to what Mr. Tony's saying, man, when you look at this data and you're able to really hone in on that information, it really allows you to tweak your trading and see what's working, what isn't, and then refine how you target things based on all of the data, right? And I mean, it really gives you the macro and micro level. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we got your
Okay.
screen right now.
So
This
breaks
is
it
nice.
down, man. Like, I mean, all of this information just by extracting all of my trades from Lightspeed. It even breaks it down to like, okay, what times and dates did you trade the most based on performance by hour, month? You can go price, volume, trade distribution price, volume traded, what instruments you made the most money on, what you made the least money on. And then you can even break it down to your journal, and you can type in why you entered every trade. So I go in here every day, every morning as part of my routine. I'll type in all of my information on why I entered that trade, and I'll go back to it and reference it, and it'll tell you whether you had a green day, red day, whatever. And you can dig down to the details of the in particular trade. So when you go here, it'll tell you what you bought in, when you sold, and what increments you sold in. As you see here, if I would have stayed in, I could have made $1,943, but I left with 653. And then you can break down to the chart, even the chart itself, to show you where you entered, where you exited, and how you could have
That's
stayed
pretty
in
nice.
and made more money.
This is
Wow.
phenomenal. That's
I like
it's worth
this.
it.
It's well worth the $50. So I mean, with all that information, you can go back and look at these reports and say, you know what, I need to trade more at 10 o'clock. I need to trade more stocks at this price point, right? Maybe hold this long. Here are my pips going down. Like, how much would I lose or have I lost? Breaking down, you can even break it down to the pips.
Okay. You're doing
It's
Forex.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So I used to have to do I did all this by hand. There was obviously that program did not exist. So I figured out, long ago, Wednesday was one of my best trading days. Why? Because I had the data. Man, on Wednesdays, I seem to make a ton more money on Wednesdays, Wow. Okay. So on Wednesdays, I'm ready to go. Maybe I'm adding, instead of buying one lot, I'm buying 2 lots. So I'm buying 3 lots on Wednesdays. You know what I mean? So that is great. That is phenomenal. I've never seen that. That is, that you need this data in order to make, clear decisions about what it is you want to do. Okay. Where I'm best at, where I'm strong, where I'm weak. If I don't have the data, I don't know. I can't make those determinations. That's why I'm sending you guys through these exercises right now. Once you find out where you're strong at a week, because with these setups that I've given you guys, you only need like 3 or 4. 3 or 4, you don't need a dozen. You don't need a dozen. You may see them, and maybe it's good that you'll know them, you'll have them in your tool belt, in your repertoire, but you don't need all 12 of them to earn a living. As a matter of fact, it's too much. You could take 3 or 4 of those setups and trade them. Heck, I told you, we've already gone through it. Miss Yola's using 1. She said she was up 3,800%. That's ridiculous. She's killing me. I'm trying to catch up to her, and I showed her the setup. But this is great. That's great. Thank you, Lauren. Fantastic. You and Richard, hey, go ahead and enter that in our Facebook. Patrick, I'm sure.
Please. If you guys can post it up. I was gonna just type it in, but so that way you guys can actually kind of put it in yourselves as well. Lauren,
I'll post it on the Facebook for sure.
Yeah, I'll put it in there. I'll put it in the chat window too,
Okay.
just in case somebody wanted it.
Yeah, I saw it on the chat.
Between those two, I mean,
that way there's a paid version and the free version.
Okay. Okay. All right.
A little bit more work on the free version for sure.
Yeah. And something that me and Mr. Tony we're going to be working on next month it is going to be free, but we're going to be taking at least the quote unquote, Mr. Tony calls it the gateway drug for trading, at least, which would be the picture strength, picture of weakness, and we're going to spend like 45 minutes on each one. We're still thinking if we want to do it with the group, but just picture strength, picture of weakness, and just break it down for 45 minutes and then make that video available for you guys. That will be next month, sometime, beginning of next month. we're going to look at that, and that way you guys have one signature move that you guys can always kind of go back to.
Yeah. All righty. So, all right, guys. So you guys have your assignments for next week. Go ahead and break those numbers down that you have, except for, I guess, Richard and Lauren, you already got your numbers. Well, Lauren, you've got to set your 20 up. So basically, you already know what we're doing. Go ahead, pick out the 3 setups, do at least 20 trades. Looks like you already kind of got it anyway, but I just need you just to base it on 3 of the setups. Okay. Now, were you the one who you had you either text me or back channel me?
10 losing days.
About the first 10 losing days. Okay.
Bruh, yeah. I had 10 days losing. And man, I took your course, dude, the next 4 days after I finished the course, all green. You filled the gaps. You gave me the rules that really helped me just lock everything in, especially like the stop loss, the 55% bottom of the candle, man, the trading, the trap zone in the morning, how to look at things, when to get out, when to add to my position. All of those missing links were added from that training, man. So
cool.
Man, thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. I'm glad you guys are getting this, man, because, I mean, it took me a while. I don't have all my notes in my books, but I was pulling stuff out of storage. I'm blowing dust off and stuff and going, oh, man. And I was thinking to myself, man, I forgot about that. I was telling them on the retracement after that dramatic decline, that was how I built my small account up in the beginning, because I knew that was almost like a 90% guaranteed trade for me every time. Now, you weren't going to get a whole lot out of it. It wasn't going to be a big run, but heck, it was a plus. It was a plus. It was a plus. It was a plus. And I just couldn't afford to take any more L's at the time. But then once I started getting a little cash, then it seems like I forgot about that. And I started moving on to some other setups, because I became a little too big for my britches. You forget where you came from, oh, you still eat collard greens and fried chicken. Don't, just because you're eating steak now, don't forget, you started off eating fried chicken and collard greens. It's because you're eating steak and lobster now, hey, that used to fill your belly up. There's a whole lot of nights that fried chicken and greens filled your belly up, so anyway. Well, I'm glad. I'm very glad that it is it's working out for all of you. I'm really, I didn't expect this at all in a million years. I'm kind of semi-retired, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm just kind of doing this when I do it, and just kind of happened. Now we're working on getting this Hawaii house. So now I got a goal. I got a new goal. So thank you guys. Get me motivated. Get off my butt. Get some of them notes out. Get the dust off some of those notes, and I feel like I'm becoming a better trader again too. So it's working both ways. Believe me, it's not just one way. It's both ways. And also too, you and Richard, if you guys can contribute, and all of you guys, not just you, but all of you guys contribute to the Facebook and put in whatever notes, any updates, any ideas that pops into your head, questions. I think, because I was asking Patrick, what's the Facebook for? I don't get it. Now I see. Now I got a better feeling for why he put together this Facebook and how we can all benefit from it, because there's a lot of information that can be exchanged in that network there. So cool. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you.
I have a quick question, Mr. Tony.
Sure, Patience. What's up?
Or Richard. Patrick. Will this be available on the
Absolutely.
platform? Can you give me the day, because I was late? Sorry, guys.
The day for the
That it'll be
recording?
available? Yes.
Give it 48 hours. 48 hours from within 48 hours of every class. We want to be able to have everything there. We can have the recording available. What we want to do is the part that takes a little longer is making sure we get the transcription, so that way you can do your keyword searches a lot faster. That's where maybe 72 hours on the worst case, but within 48 hours we've already got it done. So today is Wednesday. By Friday it'll be ready.
Okay, thank you. And then what's the next assignment? for next week.
Okay, so next 20 trades, patience, 3 different setups. Okay, I need you to do that, and I need to get and we need to have the data, wins and losses. Okay, average, largest win, the average amount of your wins, largest loss, the average of your losses from those 3 setups. Okay, 3 different setups than what we used last week. Okay.
Okay, I hear you. Thank you.
No problem. Cool.
It's getting exciting, Mr. Tony. It's getting exciting.
Well, we're moving in the right direction. I want to kind of pick up the pace a little bit, because once we kind of narrow this thing down, and once we get this data condensed into some real firm numbers, then you're going to just see phenomenal things happening for you guys. I mean, it's.
Lauren,
I tell you guys, go ahead, Donna.
was that a red candle ignored or a 180 retracement on that trade? Where if you had kept in it, you would have made 1,000 versus that 600.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what trade. Which one was that?
You just showed us an example.
Was it like Cisco? Was that a Cisco
I think
trade?
it might have been
yeah,
Cisco.
that was Cisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a Cisco trade. Honestly, and Tony's probably gonna slap my hand for this. I don't remember what the entry was. It probably was a.
I'm gonna kill you guys.
It looked like it took off
That's
after you
good,
got
that's
out of it.
good,
It went
let's
up
go.
like how many more candles it went up. So it looked like it was just like an RPI maybe, or maybe a 180.
I don't remember it off the top of my head. If I looked into the details of it, I probably would. But
I keep looking. I can't stop looking now. I can't see. No,
It won't come up on the recording, but I think it was
look.
February 18 or something like that. I think was what you had was a timeline.
okay, most likely. I mean, I think I was really targeting some of those 100% retracement candles. Whenever I saw whatever the trend was, and I would jump in. So I'm not sure if that was an option or what. I have to look at it.
You don't have to look back.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just one example, man. I had one example where I looked back at it and I only took $300 from it, and it showed me if I would have stayed in it, I would have made 10,000.
That's insane. If
Yeah,
only
it
we had known
really
about
opens
the
your eyes.
candles, right? What we're looking at.
Yep. It really opens your eyes, and it's like Mr. Tony says, man, taking profits too early, not riding. That was before I knew those principles and kind of ride it out. I was just like, sometimes you'll have red days and you get a little green. You're like, man, let me take that. Let me take that 300. I'll take that now. Just give it to me.
See, and that's the problem, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that because, see, if I don't set limits, like I had one-on-ones with John and Iman the other day, and we're talking about setting limits, So if I say you got to take 30 cents because this stock trades at, say, $75, or you got to take 20 cents because it trades at 25 to 50, but whatever the parameters are that we set, you have to stick to that. And because when you deviate, we say, well, you know what? I wrote down here 20 cents, but it's at 18. I'm gonna go ahead and take this 18. The next time it's going to be, well, I put down 18, but I'm going to go ahead and take this 15. And then the next time it's going to be, well, I wrote down 15, but I'm going to take 12 cents because I'm not feeling real good. See, and it's inevitable. You will do it because I did it. I'm not telling you anything I didn't do. I did it. Until I sat there, you know what? And I was like, you know what? It says I'm going to take 30 cents. I'm going to take 30 cents. I'm going to ride this bad. Either I'm going to get stopped out, or I'm going to take 30 cents, or I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait for these pushes to happen. And I'm going to take my hands away from the keyboard. And I just refuse to go over there. Again, like I was saying, I got to take you out of the trade, and I got to let the plan do the trade because you'll mess it up.
No, I agree. Ever since I heard that on the training, it was like, what is it, $50 or more a stock, let 50 cents. If it's below 50 cents, 30 cents. Ever since that, I'm always watching my P&L, looking at how much that cents comes up, and then I just put the crosshairs on the 55% on the bottom of the candle, and I don't touch it until it gets to that point. I back up.
Back up. Just get away from the machine.
Yep.
Everybody back up. Get away from the machine. All right, guys. All right. Well, went over again, Patrick. Hey, it's gonna be
That's all
quick.
right.
It's gonna be an
That's all
hour.
right.
We're gonna
This
get
is-
out of here.
But Mr. Tony, this was good. It was good because being able to have the info Lauren and Richard just shared was necessary to have been that we stayed longer, because if not, we would have missed out on this cool stuff here.
That's
So
true.
I'm glad we were able to do that. And I'm assuming everybody else appreciates the fact that these two gentlemen were able to share that. So thank you both.
It's gonna help the group for sure.
Mhm.
I'm real excited to see what happens. So I'm thinking, okay, so we're in February, so in July, I'm interested
different
to
story.
see, oh my God. They'll be like, oh yeah, well, yeah, Mr. Tony, we don't even we are gone down the road. We are never looking back. That's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool. Really, really cool. I'm excited to see.
Yes, it is.
We're excited to see. So, all right, Patrick.
You guys enjoy the rest of the night. And for our East Coast folks,
Yeah.
good night. For my West Coast folks, go have dinner.
Go have dinner. Yep. Go have dinner.
And we'll connect again next week. And so that'll be next Wednesday would be when we begin start at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern.
Okay. All right, guys.
Very cool.
See you in Clubhouse tomorrow.